Hi everybody, this is Caroline Sotheby and welcome to Up, Down, and Around Town. Okay, we've been talking about the Downriver, Detroit film. Well, anyway, all that stuff for the past couple of weeks, and the presentations we were at, there was one film, or I should say a documentary that was made by the kids, and I said we have to have it on. It's the history of McKinley School, and for so many people, especially in Wyandotte, you know, there's been a little ups and downs and see how we're doing so far, and we're getting to the point where I think we're comfortable with it. So we're going to talk to some of the kids from the film group who helped make that documentary, and then we'll find out the end result by watching it about the middle of this program. So right now, Ron Thomas, maybe you'd like to explain to the people that don't know who you are. Who are you?
Sure. I'm Ron Thomas, resident here in town. I do some property development work, and one of my projects is the redevelopment of the McKinley School.
Okay. And you, Gail?
I'm Eleanor Spiteri, and I was directing the interviews in the McKinley School project. It was really entertaining, and it was really fun to do. I wasn't really used to it yet, but I got the hang of it easily.
Okay. How did you get involved, and who are you?
I am Michaela Janssen, and I got involved with my brother. He started doing the film, I think, a couple of years, and I did the camera for the project.
Okay. And you, Grant?
I got into the film Consortium about a year ago around this time, because my mom worked with somebody who knew Gillespie, and I'm also the director, and I did all the research for the documentary.
Beautiful. You did a lot of work.
Indeed, I did.
Yeah. Okay. For some people, I don't know. I hope they are. They've been watching our shows lately, and you were at the presentation too, weren't you?
I was, yep.
Yeah. What did you think about all the film and everything that was presented to them?
I was impressed. I did some video editing in college, and these kids far exceeded any skill set that I even saw at that level. And you know, they had this documentary, a lot of comedies that were hilarious, legitimately, and it was a really cool thing to see.
Yeah. You often wonder how they can do that, but then I guess you have to have the right people and the right counselors to motivate you to figure out what you love doing and what you can do and what you're going to learn. Okay, you did research. Where did you find all this information?
I simply gathered it online.
You did, yeah?
Yeah.
Huh. And then who organized all the people getting in to do something with it?
I'd say Mr. Gillespie did it.
Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you directed?
Yes. I directed and did all the research for the documentary.
Beautiful. Are you glad that you did all that research? Did you learn something from it?
Yeah, I'm pretty glad, and I feel like I learned definitely a handful of things from it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did you learn through the whole process?
I wouldn't say that I learned very much, but I would say that it was very, very, very fun. I didn't have very much to learn from it.
Okay. And you?
I would also have to say that I didn't really learn very much from it either, other than, I can't really think of anything else that I really learned. I didn't really learn much from it, though.
Well, who did most of the interviews with the principals?
I just
You
started.
did?
Yeah. Yeah, I interviewed the past two principals, at least the two most recent ones.
Uh-huh. Well, that's where you learn more of your history,
Yeah.
too. Yeah. And, of course, who did the editing then? Did Gillespie do it with any of you, or what?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, not that I know of.
I didn't do.
No? No? Well, so you haven't tackled that big situation, but that took a lot of work, composing all that together and made it sense right through the whole program.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you were on the program too, so that sort of gave an up-to-date version of the history.
Yeah, one interesting thing I saw when I actually watched their finished product was I learned a lot about the building's history and about where it came from and its backstory and things
Yeah.
I didn't even know, as much work as I've done over there. Yeah.
But you grew up in that area, didn't you?
Yeah, I grew up on the other side of town, but I went to there for school of choice. There's a program
Uh-huh.
that allowed me to go there for a few years, yeah. Yep.
Okay. Well, Joe, maybe we can go right to it and give the people an idea of what we're talking about. Okay?
Before McKinley School was built, there was a small school located there called Third Ward School, and that school was torn down in 1901.
There have been two McKinley elementary schools on this site. The first one was built in 1901.
And that was the same year that President McKinley, who was the 25th President of the United States, had been assassinated. So there was a connection between McKinley and the old site for the school. McKinley School was built in 1939 and dedicated in 1940.
The superintendent, Mr. Frostick, believed that education was enhanced with beautiful surroundings. And McKinley is certainly a beautiful school. It is in the Art Deco style, and inside there's beautiful English oak. And also his daughter was an artist, and she designed the medallions in the floor.
There are beautiful tiles on the floor, 3 that are outstanding in my memories. There's a huge tile of the Great Lakes. There's a tile that refers to a huge compass, so you always know which direction you're heading in when you're at McKinley. And the last one, and my favorite that I used to use with the students as a history lesson, was of the solar system. We always taught in school. My very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas, and that's how we remembered how the planets were.
The tiles to McKinley were very unique, very Art Deco. There has been a discussion for many years where the tiles came from. People believe they were manufactured by Pewabic Tile out of Detroit, but research shows, and confirmed by Wayne State University, that the tiles came from the Flint Faience factory in Michigan.
The school in itself was magnificent. There were 3 fireplaces, one in the kindergarten, which was a self-contained room. There was a library upstairs that had its own fireplace. And on the first floor, there was a community room that had a fireplace.
McKinley was built with grants from the federal government, and that was the WPA program, Works Progress Administration, and they paid for over 1/3 of the school and provided workforce. At the time, WPA also had an arts program, and they did put a mural in McKinley School, and we understand it was of Indians and settlers, but it had been painted over and taken down years ago, so we haven't really seen any pictures of it.
I was working in another district, and it was time for me to look for something new and exciting to do. Wyandotte schools were hiring, and they were getting involved in the new school of choice, where children around the district could go to different schools to see if their needs could be met in a more individual style. And so I applied for the job in 1991. I left McKinley in 2007, and the main reason was that I was just getting in my advanced years and I was looking forward to retirement. And I knew the school was going to be in very good hands with Mrs. Wilson, so I was able to leave there with a very happy heart.
There are so many great memories of McKinley, both teaching and being a principal. We did a lot of planning together and took our students on field trips. One of my favorite field trips was one that we walked to a restaurant in Wyandotte and had taught the kids about using all the utensils and proper etiquette of eating, and we had this fancy lunch for them, and it was a really great experience. And then we added the piece of life skills there and teaching the kids around the 18 life skills of things like perseverance and pride and common sense.
My connection to McKinley is that I actually went to elementary school there, and actually now I'm a teacher in Wyandotte as well. I teach at the high school. So I went to McKinley Elementary for 2nd through 6th grade. So when the program started, it was my first year, my first grade year. So my parents signed us up for that, where parents were involved in this opportunity that was a grant for the district. So it was a really unique experience for all of us, yeah. There was a mural project that happened on the 2nd floor with Tanya Au was the one who started it, and Dio Cray was the principal during that time also. And we were able to make pieces out of clay that represented all the different places in the community. And we attached them all to the wall, and there was all kinds of paintings and stuff behind it. It was actually really beautiful and fun to look at. We had a great, art programs and like specials as far as music and all that kind of stuff.
The teachers would come up with inventive things like bridge building with toothpicks, and then at the end they would see which bridges held up. We did Spanish classes, exercise classes, cooking classes, reading classes, knitting classes, crocheting classes, all kinds of wonderful things that were outside of the book learning that could pique the children's interest to things that they might truly be interested in.
Dio Cray, one of my fondest memories is of her playing her guitar and teaching us all kinds of different songs during the assemblies every week.
Every Friday, I would hold an assembly, and the entire school would come down to the assembly. We would do birthday announcements, school announcements, and I would teach some of the craziest songs I could find from camping or books from children's songs. And we would get together and we would spend the half hour every Friday morning rejoicing at being at McKinley School, being able to sing and to express ourselves and to be a united family.
That was very, very special. It's to the fact to where all of our family now, we all still sing those songs with my brother and sister playing guitar too. So it's been really special.
I left McKinley in 2009, and the reason for that is because the school was closing. So we all left McKinley in 2009.
In 2009, the school district determined that the enrollment had declined enough that they were planned to close McKinley Elementary School and redistribute the children to other schools.
Well, since McKinley School closed, we've seen a lot of problems. Since it was abandoned, it attracted criminals. They would trespass, they would break into the school because nobody occupied it. And once inside the school, they were committing crimes like spray painting graffiti. They're vandalizing the property inside the school. They broke glass everywhere. They even pushed the piano down the staircase. McKinley School definitely had its share of problems. Since McKinley was purchased, all the problems went away. They enhanced the security. They did a better job of keeping the trespassers out. And we haven't seen any problems at all since it's been purchased.
The McKinley project is special to me for a number of reasons. One, I went to school there, in elementary school. Two, I think it's a beautiful building, and that's really why I wanted to restore it. And three, I think it means a lot to the neighborhood and could become, really a centerpiece for that community. And so for those reasons, I decided to try it. There are going to be 5 houses behind it on the land, the big lots, a playground. Right now it's a playground anyway, but it's going to be a public park permanently, and then residential units inside the building itself.
Going back after all these years was very nostalgic and melancholy at the same time. Walking through the office area and seeing my old classroom and seeing some of the transformations that were happening in the building was pretty fabulous as well. It was great to see the tiles on the floor and on the wall. I think the very favorite part of when we went back there was the mural upstairs and looking at the seasons, the spring, summer, fall, winter, within that mural, and all of the different landmarks and important buildings around Wyandotte, some of which are still there, others that are no longer there. It was both wonderful and sad at the same time. I was glad I went back.
The part of the charm of the building is that you could not build something like that again today. It wouldn't be feasible, it would cost too much, and that was part of the reason I wanted to save part of it too.
The building itself was just a magnificent thing, and I'm glad it's being saved.
Okay, hey, you gotta give yourselves credit. History before and now. So, are you glad you did that?
Honestly, I'm pretty glad I did that.
Yeah. What do you have in store for you now? You know? Or are you just getting into the season?
I don't know what's in store next. We're just getting into the season.
Okay. So you're gonna have to keep in touch and let us know.
Yeah.
All right. How about you?
I am very glad that I did end up doing that. I think that was very fun, and it was very time-consuming, but I did definitely like doing that. And I'm not sure what I'm doing next. It'll
Okay.
always just be a surprise.
All right. Eleanor.
So I don't really know what's in store for me next. I'm also just going along with whatever the season has to offer.
Uh-huh.
And my opinion on the McKinley film was that it was pretty time consuming as well, but it was very much worth it in the end.
Really? Yeah. So you did learn something, whether it was camera or but the idea of what can be done to make a big production like that. So, yeah. Did you learn anything, sir?
No, but I was honored to have my project be featured on their awesome film project, and hopefully when it's done I can give Grant, Eleanor, and Michaela a tour through the building.
Yeah.
It's very much like a tour when it's done.
That's something that not everybody realizes that what they can do. And just having somebody with a little push and the know-how and wanting to do it. Can you? That's history. How can anybody actually get it? Are you guys going to have a film made out where people can buy it, or just presentation like this on the program so people can see at home?
Correct me if I'm wrong, I think I learned this at the event, that these films get sent off to different film contests and that sort of thing, right? That's part of this.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So with that in mind, I hate to say goodbye because I don't know how much time we have. I appreciate you all coming on, and especially you. You were at the council meeting already Monday with your other situations. You're a busy man, so you got to keep us posted too on the outcome. Maybe we get all these kids to go back after you have everything set and take another documentary.
Yeah, I'd love to. Sounds like a
Wouldn't that
plan.
be something? Before and after?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks for coming. And yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Wanted to be on the show.
Well, I'm glad you came because not everybody wants to come here. They're afraid. See?
I mean, I don't doubt that.
That's not necessarily false.
Okay. Hey, you take care. And I was going to keep in touch. We'll find out what you're going to be doing next season. Okay?
We'll try to.
Okay. And we'll try to keep in touch with you and find out what you're going to do next season.
Sounds good.
Take a vacation.
Next year.
Okay. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Up, Down, and Around Town. Okay.